As you can see, we're next up is Newcore Gold, and they're working on the Enchi project in Ghana. They've been putting out some really compelling open pit drill results, or potential open pit results, from the project, and I'm looking forward to getting an update where we are in the program. How is it all shaping up, and what are the next steps, Luke?
Yeah, great. Hi, Kai, and hi, everyone who's listening in. So I'm going to talk to you today about Newcore Gold. Newcore is advancing the Enchi project in Ghana. It's a district scale exploration project that's fundamentally underpinned by a PEA with very robust economics that we put out last year. We've also got a 43-101 inferred resource currently sitting at 1.4 million ounces. But really the driver for the company is the additional 70,000 meters of drilling as part of our 90,000 meter program that wasn't included in the resource update and PEA that we put out last year. First thing I'll highlight is that I will be making some forward-looking statements, so I'll encourage you to go to our website and read that. So 3 real key things to a successful company. You need to have a great asset, which we've got with our project, a proven management team, as well as good capital markets support. Starting with the management team and capital market support, we've got a track record of making shareholders money. These are a number of the companies that our team has been involved in over the last number of years, which anyone who follows the mining industry will recognize that these have all been very successful companies. My background is I spent 15 years on the investment banking side of the business, advising ASX, TSX, London-listed companies on different mining deals around the world, and advising institutional investors on different mining deals as well. We're also very fortunate for a company of our size to be very well supported by some deep-pocketed institutional investors. These are groups who focus on the mining sector, focus on precious metals, and currently own about 40% of Newcore Gold, and ultimately recognize the upside potential. We've also got very strong support from the capital markets. Currently have 5 tier 1 investment banks covering us from a research perspective, and I would encourage you to go and have a read of that research. My personal view is that we're very undervalued at this stage. If you look at it from a per dollar per ounce basis, or where we're trading relative to the PEA that we put out last year, we're trading at a steep discount. And then we've got a very good capital structure, currently only 121 million shares outstanding, and no warrants. Current market cap about $60 million Canadian. Our fundamental view at Newcore is that to advance a project, the best way to do that is to make sure that all stakeholders benefit in that project. As a result, we are very focused on ESG, and we try to adhere to as many of the UN Sustainable Development Goals as are possible for a company of our stage. Ghana is a tier 1 jurisdiction to be operating in. For those who don't know Ghana, it is Africa's largest gold producer, 6th largest gold producer globally, very stable government, as well as there's a lot of skilled labor and mining services companies in country, which really benefit us. But ultimately, don't listen to me, who's got a single asset in Ghana. Look at what the majors are doing in country. You've currently got 4 of the top 10 largest gold producers on the planet with significant operations in country. Newmont is in the process of investing another $800 million in Ghana, which is going to take their production from 14 to 20% of global production. I think that speaks for itself in terms of the desire to be in Ghana. There's 2 prolific gold belts that sit in Ghana. You've got the Ashanti belt as well as the Sefwi-Bibiani belt. We were fortunate to be able to amass a very large land package when we did. Currently sit on 216 square kilometers. And if you look at our neighbors along trend, Kinross's Chirano mine, historical endowment of 5.5 million ounces, historical endowment of 6.5 at Bibiani. And then here's one of those 2 Newmont mines sitting at 15.5 million ounces. So true elephant country from that perspective. The other thing that we really benefit from is infrastructure. Sometimes people think Africa projects are in the middle of nowhere. That couldn't be further from the truth. For us, we've got a paved road that runs right through our project to the town of Enchi. Enchi's got about 15,000 people, so it's got all the support services we could want. We can house all of our employees here. There's a hospital, a university campus, schools, but importantly, it sits about 10 kilometers away from our project as a crow flies, that we don't anticipate any issues when it comes time to putting this into production. Here's a good example of that infrastructure: paved highway, gas stations, power lines, cell phone towers. This is where our core shack currently sits, about 5 kilometers outside of town. We've just doubled it in size given all of the drilling that we've been doing as part of this program. Fundamentally, the company's underpinned by a very robust PEA that we put out in June of last year. We've got a 30-page dedicated deck I'd encourage you to go to look at. It outlines a very simple open pit heap leach project at an $1,850 gold price. You've got an after-tax NPV of $302 million. That's compared to where we're trading today at about $45 million US. So lots of upside potential from that perspective. 54% IRR. And one of the things that really drives the economics is the low capital required for a heap leach project, as well as all of that infrastructure that we get to leverage off of. But where we're going to create the value is through the additional 70,000 meters that was not included in this PEA and resource update. We did also put a resource update out. We currently sit at 1.4 million ounces. If you look at all the historical RC, diamond, and trenching work, it's about 110,000 meters. Of our additional 70,000 meters of drilling, about 40,000 of it will feed into the next resource update, which we're targeting at the end of this year. So when we look at that compared to a historical 110,000 meters, our view is that we'll start to push 2 million ounces with the resource update, which is a very good level to be at. Grade is another thing we like to highlight. Currently sit at 0.62 grams. If you compare that to heap leach projects globally, you're typically looking at 0.4 to 0.5 grams, or even as low as 0.3 grams for a number of projects today. So very good grade as well for our project. With the 90,000 meter drill program, we wanted to really accomplish 4 things. We wanted to expand existing resource areas, which we have been doing. We wanted to go back to previously drill tested areas, which we have done and had some good success. We also wanted to make new discoveries. In January and February of this year, we've announced 3 new discoveries, which really highlights that district scale opportunity. And then we also wanted to test the underground, the deeper, higher grades for the first time ever. And that's something that we've been doing as part of this drill program. I'll just take you through some of that quickly now. Looking at our project here, again, very large land package, 216 square kilometers in size. This is our Sium deposit. It is our largest deposit, sits at about 725,000 ounces. What you're going to see here, these are the pits that currently constrain our 1.4 million ounces, or 725,000 ounces in this case. You're then going to see all of this drilling that we've been doing, which ultimately sits outside of the current pit constrained 1.4 million ounces. And this is where we think we will add, meaningful ounces and start to push that 2 million ounces, as I highlighted to you earlier. This is our Boeing deposit, sits at about 500,000 ounces. And I think this is a really good example of, where we've added meaningful mineralization with this additional 70,000 meters of ongoing drilling that we're doing. What we're looking at here is a 2.8 kilometer pit constrained resource. We've then added about 1.6 kilometers of mineralized material on either side of that. So that's where we'll see expansion at our existing resource areas, as well as we've been hitting some very high grades on our project. We had our highest intercept ever here at Boeing at about 125 meters below surface. We've hit 95 grams over 2 meters, 13 grams over 1 meter within that same hole. So those are the kind of high grades that we're very excited about. Moving up to our Nyam and Quachikrum areas, this is another area that we're very excited about. And Nyam sits at about a 1.8 kilometer pit constrained resource. Quachikrum, we put a maiden resource out here in June of last year. And as you can see, we've been adding a lot of mineralized material to to those areas. The third thing that I outlined was that we wanted to make some new discoveries as part of this program. So we have allocated 10,000 meters to first pass drilling, and we have made 3 new discoveries at Tokasea, Sium South, as well as an extension zone at Sium, or a parallel structure at Sium Extension. One of the key things with all of these discoveries is that they sit very close to the planned infrastructure that we outlined within our PEA last year. So looking at it a little bit more closely, this is that Sium deposit that I highlighted, where we've got 725,000 ounces. We've then made maiden discovery here at Sium South. This is a 6 by 3 kilometer anomaly, as well here at Tokasea, past producing mine here, both high grade and oxides, 6 kilometers by 2 kilometers in size. And we've still got a lot of additional drilling planned for both of these areas, but very encouraging the first pass drilling that we've done at both of those. The last thing that I want to talk about, and this is a critical piece of our exploration program, is the opportunity at depth. One of the things that's never been done on this project prior to us kicking off this 90,000 meter program is drilling below 150 meters. What we've done here is we've taken our current resource, which has an average vertical depth of only 63 meters. So those pits that I was just showing you only average 63 meters. So we've really still just scratched the surface. We then compare that to Kinross's Chirano mine, and where these greenstone hosted deposits really increase in grade and grow in size as you start to drill deeper. For the first time ever, we're starting to drill below 150 meters, and we've been having some very encouraging results. Moving to our Nyam deposit and looking at this hole number 45 here, as we got down to 175 meters below surface, deepest ever drilled here at the time, we hit 5.4 grams over 9 meters. Sitting 500 meters to the south, we've hit 4.5 grams over 13 meters. 7.4 grams over 8 meters. Again, these point to underground high-grade material, and I think these results have really been overlooked by the market, and is something that we can now start to talk about for the first time, that we think we've tapped into some of these high-grade feeder zones. Looking at this from a long section perspective now, again, 5.8 grams over 7 meters, 5.6 over 8, 5.4 over 9. 5 grams over 8 meters. So we think we've tapped into one of these high-grade feeder zones and will require additional drilling. Sitting 500 meters to the south, we've hit 3.2 over 9. Here's that hole, 7.4 over 8, 6 over 6, 3.5 over 9. So again, we think we've tapped into another one of these high-grade feeder zones, but in between, there's a lack of drilling. So that's something that we're excited about, is to obviously look to get back in there and do some additional drilling and really prove up a meaningful amount of underground high-grade material. Just to wrap things up, management and board are truly aligned through our 27% ownership in the business. We run a very low G&A because our view is getting meters into the ground is the way we're going to create value for shareholders. Really good capital markets and institutional support. Ghana is a tier 1 jurisdiction, and the company's fundamentally underpinned by a very robust PEA. And where we're going to create value is with that additional 70,000 meters of drilling.
Fantastic. Oh, look, love your style of presentation. Really great. Like, I love the interactivities. Like, it makes a world of difference if you're looking at staring at a screen all morning, right? So I really like it. 90,000 meters. The last drill results came out early March. When do you expect the next set to be published?
We'd expect some additional results by the end of this month. We had kind of committed to the market that we would keep them updated on the progress of our project. So on a monthly basis, we've been putting drill results out. And well, the last set of drill results was mid-March. So I would expect in the next week or two we get that next set of results out.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, Easter is putting a bit of damper on things as well. Makes sense. And to get to that next stage in terms of study, PFS, obviously, like 90,000 meters right now, is that enough? Do you feel confident putting out a PFS around that number after you digested it all?
Yeah, as we've kind of highlighted, or I've highlighted, my view is that we're going to start to push 2 million ounces with a resource update. Again, a lot of that's still going to be within the oxide, so we will be able to present a larger, more robust project. As well as some of the density of the drilling that we've been doing along the sections will start to move some of it into the indicated category. We haven't been allocating, dollars towards infill drilling, but anything we can move into the indicated category would make some sense. And one of the important things to remember is we really only relaunched this company 18 months ago. So as we digest the next resource that we get out, we'll make a decision as to, okay, does it make sense to move towards a PFS, really outline a larger, more robust heap leach project with that continued district scale, higher grade exploration upside, or do we think that we should go with another round of drilling? So those are decisions that will get made on the back of the next resource update.
I was going to say, don't ask the geos. I know their answer. So, no, Luke, I can't believe it's been only 18 months. You've been definitely going at redneck pace. 90,000 meters of drilling is definitely nothing to laugh at. Good luck. Can't wait to see the next batch of results. Happy Easter. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Kai. Thanks, everyone, for listening in.